On my 27th birthday, not a single person came. A stranger helped me blow out the candles. 3 years later, my $50 million company made Forbes, and that's when my family showed up with cake, flowers, and a proposal. The birthday candles flicker in the soft amber lighting of Margot, casting dancing shadows across the untouched glass of Pont Noir before me. 27 candles, 27 years of life, and tonight, 27 minutes of checking my phone, watching the door, hoping. I tapped my fingernail against the screen 11 times now. In the past half hour, still nothing. Not a text, not a call, not even one of those generic sorry, can't make it messages that at least acknowledge someone remembered. Miss Callista, the waiter's voice is gentle, almost apologetic. Should we continue holding the table for your party? I look up at him, this kind stranger with sympathy etched into the lines around his eyes. His gaze flickers between the 5 empty chairs surrounding me and the small chocolate torte centered on the white linen tablecloth. The restaurant hums with life around us. Couples laughing over shared plates, friends clinking glasses in celebration, a cork popping somewhere near the bar. Everyone else's joy feels like a spotlight on my solitude. Just another 20 minutes, I manage, summoning what I hope passes for a smile. It feels fragile on my face, like it might crack and fall into pieces. I'm sure they're just running late. We both know it's a lie. This is the 4th time I've asked for an extension. I smooth down the front of my sapphire silk blouse, the one I bought specifically for tonight, splurging on something beautiful because I thought I'd be celebrating. The fabric whispers beneath my fingertips, cool and sleek. Behind me, the sounds of other people's happiness swirl like water around a rock, flowing past, but never quite touching me. 3 weeks ago, I'd reserved this table at Margot, Chicago's newest fine dining sensation. The kind of place you book months in advance. I just closed a $1.4 million seed funding round for Lamina Skin Company, my clean beauty startup. After 4 years of grinding, working from my studio apartment, maxing out credit cards, living on ramen and determination, someone finally believed in my vision. I'd sent the message to our family group chat, writing that higher validation family celebration dinner at Margot to toast my birthday and some exciting news. Thursday at 7, table for 6. Silence. 3 days passed before I tried again. Just confirming dinner this Thursday at Margot downtown. Really hope you can all make it. More silence. My final attempt sent yesterday morning. Reserved for 7:00 p.m. Thursday. Would love to see everyone there. Nothing. Not from Mom, not from Dad, not from my younger brother Brendan. I take a sip of water, ice cubes clicking against my teeth, and try to ignore the tightness in my throat. This shouldn't surprise me. It's the same pattern that's played out since childhood, just with different details. When I was 15 and Brendan was 13, Dad took him on a 2-week deep-sea fishing trip to the Florida Keys. When I asked why I wasn't invited, Dad ruffled my hair and said, "Boys need adventure, sweetheart. Girls need stability." That stability apparently meant co-signing Brendan's $22,000 truck loan when I was 23, fresh out of college with my own student debt crushing me. When he defaulted after 4 months, I made the payments myself rather than watch my credit score implode. Dad thanked me with a distracted nod before helping Brendan install a custom sound system in that same truck. The memory sits bitter on my tongue, mixing with the metallic taste of disappointment. "Excuse me." A voice interrupts my spiral. I look up to find a man standing beside my table, tall, maybe mid-40s, with dark hair just beginning to silver at the temples and warm brown eyes behind elegant wire-rimmed glasses. He's wearing a perfectly tailored navy suit that speaks of success without shouting it. "I don't mean to intrude," he says, his voice rich and genuine, "but I couldn't help noticing it appears to be your birthday." He gestures toward the torte with its unlit candles. My fingers tighten around the wine glass stem. It is then. Happy birthday. His smile reaches his eyes. May I? Would you mind if I joined you for a moment, just until your guests arrive? I should say no. Should maintain my dignity. Pretend everything's fine, that people are definitely coming and just running late. Instead, I hear myself say, please. He settles into the chair across from me with an easy grace, setting a leather messenger bag beside him. I'm Nathan, he introduces himself. Callista. My voice sounds steadier than I feel. It's lovely to meet you, Callista. He signals the waiter, who approaches with a lighter. May I? When I nod, the waiter lights the candles on my torte. Their glow reflects in Nathan's glasses as he watches me. So what brought you here tonight, all dressed up and celebrating alone? The question should sting, but something in his tone, curiosity without judgment, makes me want to answer honestly. I just secured major funding for my company. Thought my family might want to celebrate with me. And they're running late. There's understanding in his voice, not pity. They're not coming, I say. The words taste like ash. They didn't even bother to respond to my messages. Nathan leans back slightly, studying me with those perceptive eyes. Then they're missing something extraordinary, he says, his voice soft but certain. Tell me about this company that earned such impressive funding. For a moment, I consider deflecting, changing the subject, protecting myself from further vulnerability. But something shifts inside me. Why not share this victory with someone who actually seems to care? Lamina Skin Company, I say, feeling a genuine smile spread across my face for the first time tonight. I pull out my phone, showing him our website with its clean aesthetic and our hero product, a vitamin C serum that took me 2 years to perfect. Clean beauty products, sustainably sourced, scientifically backed. We are planning to triple our production capacity with the new funding. Remarkable, Nathan says, scrolling through the images with genuine interest. When he looks up, his admiration feels like sunlight breaking through storm clouds. Someone should absolutely be celebrating your brilliance tonight. His words unlock something in my chest, something that's been held too tight for too long. Make a wish, he prompts gently, gesturing to the candles. I close my eyes, and instead of wishing for my family to show up, that ship has clearly sailed, I make a different wish. I wish for the strength to stop waiting for their approval, to stop shrinking myself to fit into their narrow definition of success, to build a life that doesn't revolve around their validation. I blow out the candles. What did you wish for? Nathan asks. To stop waiting. I whisper, more to myself than to him. The waiter returns with 2 plates and forks. As Nathan and I share the torte, dark chocolate with a hint of espresso, I find myself telling him everything. About Brendan's truck that I'm still paying off. About the countless family dinners where they discussed his latest business venture while I sat invisible at the table. About building Lamina from nothing while my parents poured money into Brendan's string of failed startups. The strangest part, I say, setting down my fork, is that I still love them despite everything. Love and boundaries aren't mutually exclusive, Nathan replies. In fact, the healthiest love requires them. You can love someone deeply while refusing to let them diminish you. Something about the way he says it, not as advice but as truth, makes me believe it might actually be possible. What do you do? I ask, realizing I've been monopolizing the conversation. I'm an author, he says. I write about resilience, about people who rebuild themselves after disappointment, about finding strength in unexpected places. He pauses, his expression warm. I suspect you know something about that already. What makes you say that? The way you're sitting here alone on your birthday but still holding yourself together. That takes a particular kind of strength, the kind that comes from practice. We talk for another hour about my company, his latest book, about Chicago and life and the strange ways disappointment can sometimes gift us clarity. When the restaurant begins to empty, Nathan stands to leave. Thank you, I say, meaning it more than I've meant anything in a long time. You turned what could have been the worst birthday into something meaningful. He hands me his card. If you ever need someone to talk to, someone outside the family dynamics, I'm a good listener. After he leaves, I sit alone with the remnants of my birthday celebration. But for the first time in years, alone doesn't feel the same as lonely. 3 years later, morning light streams across my penthouse balcony, turning the rim of my coffee cup golden. Lake Michigan stretches endlessly before me, its surface glittering like scattered diamonds. The view from the 40th floor never gets old. My phone chimes with a notification. Another share of yesterday's Business Insider interview, where I detailed Lamina Skin Company's journey from my studio apartment to a $50 million valuation. The engagement numbers climb past 800,000 as I watch. I take a slow sip of coffee, a single-origin Ethiopian blend Nathan introduced me to last fall, and scroll through the comments. She's revolutionizing clean beauty. Finally, a founder who actually understands skin science. The new face of conscious entrepreneurship. If only they knew how unconscious my own family had been. My phone buzzes with an incoming call. The name on the screen makes my stomach drop. Mom. We've barely spoken in 3 years. Just perfunctory holiday texts and one awkward coffee meeting where she spent 30 minutes on her phone. I consider letting it go to voicemail, but curiosity wins. Callista, sweetheart. Her voice drips with manufactured warmth. Did you see my messages? No, Brendan's getting married, can you believe it? Our boy finally settling down with Vanessa. We'd love your help planning the celebration. Our boy. As if I haven't been building an empire while they focused all their attention on his latest scheme. Some crypto trading venture that's already underwater. That's wonderful, I manage. When's the wedding? July. Listen, honey. She pauses for effect. Your father and I have been talking. She pauses again. We think this would be the perfect opportunity for a family collaboration. Imagine Lamina by Lewis. Your brand, our family name. We've always supported you after all. The lie lands like a slap. I stare at the Forbes magazine on my coffee table, the one with my face on the cover. The Science of Success. How Callista Hart built a beauty empire. I need to think about that. I say carefully, my professional voice sliding into place like armor. Of course, darling. Call me back this evening. After we disconnect, a text arrives from Brendan. Hey sis, huge news about the wedding. Also, my new venture needs an angel investor. Only $250,000. Great exposure for Lamina. Let me know ASAP. I set my phone face down on the glass table. The lake view suddenly feels less peaceful, more isolating. Later that morning, I sit in my corner office at Lamina headquarters, pulling up old files I haven't looked at in years. A folder labeled Family Financial History that I created during a particularly painful moment of clarity. Line by line, I review every loan, every bailout, every silent sacrifice. Brendan's truck, $22,000 in payments I covered. His startup seed money that he never repaid, $15,000. Dad's boat repairs after Brendan crashed it, $8,000. 3 months of Brendan's rent when he was finding himself, $4,500. Emergency loans that were never mentioned again, $12,000. The total stares back at me. $6,100. This isn't about revenge. I whisper to my empty office. It's about finally seeing clearly. My COO, Amanda, knocks before entering. Everything all right? She asks. Family matters. If my brother or parents reach out about business opportunities or investments, please direct them to me immediately. Amanda nods, understanding, crossing her face. Legally speaking, you have zero obligation to mix family with business, especially given your fiduciary duty to our investors. I know, I say, grateful for her steady presence. My phone lights up with a text from Rachel, my best friend since college. Saw Brendan's FB post about needing investors. Let me guess, he's hitting you up. They didn't show up for your birthday. Why fund his life? Ah. I smile despite the tightness in my chest. Rachel always cuts through the noise. That afternoon, a messenger delivers an envelope. Nathan's handwriting graces the front. Inside, a note card with a single quote. Boundaries aren't walls to keep people out. They're fences that protect what you've built. By evening, I've drafted an email that feels both professional and final. I attach the spreadsheet, All $61,500 documented with dates and receipts. My message is brief. Mom, Dad, and Brendan, if we are going to discuss business collaboration, let's start from a place of honesty. Attached is a record of the financial support I've provided over the years. I don't expect repayment, but I do expect acknowledgement. My company is not a family ATM. My success doesn't create an obligation to fund anyone else's ventures. I love you all, but love without respect isn't sustainable. Callista. My finger hovers over send for 10 seconds. Then I remember sitting alone at that restaurant table 3 years ago, waiting for people who never came. I press send. Mom's response arrives within 3 minutes. I watch the email notification pop up, my heart pounding. How dare you speak to us this way after everything we've sacrificed for you? This is beyond disrespectful. You've clearly forgotten where you came from. I take a deep breath and type my reply. I haven't forgotten where I came from. I've just stopped pretending it was somewhere it wasn't. I was grateful in silence, in money, in waiting. Now I'm grateful to myself for finally stopping. Dad responds next. Your mother is upset. Can't we discuss this in person? No, I write back. This is the discussion. Brendan's reply comes last. Fine, whatever, just come to the wedding. It's not acceptance, but it's not refusal either. Nathan returns that evening with dinner. He finds me on the balcony watching the city lights flicker to life below. How did they respond? He asks. About as expected. Resistance, guilt, deflection. I lean against the railing, but they didn't say no. Then you've already won, Nathan says softly. You've claimed your right to define the relationship. 3 days later, my phone rings. Mom's name appears on the screen. I almost let it go to voicemail, but something makes me answer. Callista. Her voice is different, smaller, uncertain. I've been thinking about your email. I wait, saying nothing. Your father and I would like to accept your terms for the wedding. The words hang in the air between us. I realize I'm holding my breath. Thank you, I finally say. It won't be easy for us, she adds, a hint of the old manipulation creeping back. It hasn't been easy for me either, Mom, but I'm trying. There's a long pause. Then we'll try too, she says. It's not a revelation, not a tearful reconciliation, just a small step towards something different. When the wedding day arrives, I'm ready. The Peninsula Hotel ballroom glitters with crystal chandeliers and champagne-colored light. I stand near the bar, a glass of Prosecco cooling my palm, watching the wedding reception swirl around me. Brendan and Vanessa's ceremony concluded 45 minutes ago, and I've been here for exactly 1 hour and 12 minutes. Nathan stands beside me in a charcoal suit, his presence a steady anchor in this sea of family dynamics. Brendan approaches with Vanessa beside him, both glowing with newlywed happiness. Cal, you made it, he says, and there's genuine surprise in his voice despite our email exchanges. Congratulations to you both, I say, meaning it. Whatever our history, I can wish him happiness. Thank you for the gift, Vanessa says warmly. The cookbook set and the cooking class gift certificate. So thoughtful. The gift was carefully chosen. Generous but appropriate. $400 total. Not the $5,000 they might have hoped for, but meaningful nonetheless. Callista. Brendan starts, glancing at Nathan, then back at me. Listen, about the investment opportunity I mentioned. Nathan's hand finds the small of my back, a gentle reminder of our agreement. Today is about your marriage, Brendan. I interrupt kindly but firmly. Let's keep it that way. His jaw tightens momentarily, but Vanessa squeezes his hand. She's right, honey. This is our day. She turns to me with genuine warmth. Thank you for being here. It means a lot. They move on to greet other guests, and I check my watch. 1 hour, 18 minutes holding up. Nathan murmurs, better than I expected. Mom appears at my elbow, elegant in champagne lace, her perfume a cloud of jasmine and expectation. Darling, could I speak with you privately? I glance at Nathan, who nods. I'll be right here. Mom guides me to a quiet corner near the French doors leading to the terrace. The sounds of celebration fade slightly. You look beautiful, she begins. That dress is stunning. Thank you. I'm wearing a deep emerald wrap dress, sophisticated and appropriate. Not trying to outshine the bride, but not diminishing myself either. Callista, I need to say something. Mom's voice wavers, and for the first time, it doesn't feel calculated. Your email. It was hard to read, but you were right about some things. I wait, hardly daring to breathe. We haven't always been there for you the way we should have been. She looks down at her champagne flute. I think we got so focused on Brendan needing help that we forgot you needed support too. Just different kinds of support. It's not a complete apology, not a full reckoning of everything that's happened, but it's something. Thank you for saying that, Mom. Your father and I are proud of you. We always have been. We just didn't know how to show it when you didn't need us the way Brendan did. I did need you, I say softly, just not financially. Her eyes glisten. I'm beginning to understand that. We stand in awkward silence for a moment, then Mom asks, would you consider having dinner with us next month? Just dinner, no agenda. I think about my boundaries, about the carefully constructed terms I've set. Public restaurant. Just the three of us, plus Nathan if I choose to bring him. 2 hours maximum. She nods slowly. We can do that. It's not perfect, but it's a start. Dad approaches us, his movements hesitant. He's aged since I last saw him. More gray in his hair, deeper lines around his eyes. Callista, he says simply. Hi, Dad. We look at each other. Years of complicated history hanging between us. Then he does something unexpected. He extends his hand for a formal handshake. I take it, and he holds on for a moment longer than necessary. Your mother tells me you've agreed to dinner next month. I'd like that. Me too, I say, and realize I mean it. As I rejoin Nathan, I spot Brendan watching from across the room. Our eyes meet and something passes between us. Not warmth exactly, but perhaps the beginning of respect. He raises his champagne flute slightly in acknowledgement. I raise mine in return. Ready to go? Nathan asks, checking his watch. You've officially fulfilled your 2-hour commitment, I say with a smile. Actually, I say, surprising myself, let's stay for one more dance. Nathan's eyes crinkle with that smile. I love your call. As we move on to the dance floor, Brendan dances with Vanessa nearby. Mom and Dad sway together, watching their children with complicated expressions. We are not fixed. We are not suddenly a perfect family. But maybe we are learning to be an honest one. What are you thinking? Nathan asks as we turn slowly to the music. That some endings are really beginnings, I say. And that the family you choose can teach you how to better love the family you're born with. Wise woman, he murmurs. I learned from the best. I rest my head briefly on his shoulder. From a stranger who saw me when my family couldn't. Later that night, back in my penthouse, I stand on the balcony with Nathan, watching the city shimmer below us. How do you feel? He asks. Lighter, I say. Like I've been carrying a weight I didn't realize was there until I set it down. My phone buzzes with a text from Mom. Thank you for coming tonight and for giving us a chance to do better. Love, Mom. It's just a text, just words on a screen. But it's more than I've had in years. The Lamina Foundation had 32 new applications today. I tell Nathan, changing the subject. We are going to be able to help a lot of women build something meaningful. Because you built something meaningful first. Nathan smiles, because you chose yourself when no one else would. I think about that lonely birthday 3 years ago. About candles flickering in an empty restaurant. About a stranger's kindness that became the turning point of my life. I used to think that birthday was the worst night of my life, I say quietly. And now I think it was the night I started choosing myself, the night I stopped waiting for permission to matter. Nathan pulls me close, and we stand together watching the city lights blur and sharpen in the wind. You know, I say, I should probably start planning for my 30th birthday. Oh? Nathan's voice carries a smile. What did you have in mind? Small dinner party, just the people who choose to show up, not the people who should. I turn to face him. You, Rachel, Amanda, Catherine, a few others, people who've seen me at my worst and still show up. Sounds perfect, Nathan says. Though I should warn you, I'm planning to show up with more than just birthday wishes. Something in his tone makes my heart skip. Is that so? He kisses my forehead. That's so, but we'll talk about it when the time comes. As we head inside, my phone lights up with one more notification. The Lamina Company newsletter has just gone out to 200,000 subscribers. The subject line reads, "Building Beauty from Broken Pieces, My Journey to $50 million." In it, I've shared my story, not all of it, but enough. About starting from nothing. About learning that some people can't celebrate you until you're useful to them. About building boundaries with love. About finding family in unexpected places. The responses are already flooding in. This made me cry. I thought I was the only one. Thank you for your honesty. I'm setting my first boundary tomorrow. Your story gave me permission to choose myself. I've been waiting for my family's approval to start my business. I'm not waiting anymore. I read them to Nathan, my voice catching on the last few. You're changing lives, he says simply. No, I reply, thinking about that stranger who sat with me on my loneliest birthday. I'm just passing on what someone taught me. That sometimes the kindest thing you can do is show up for someone who's used to being alone. Nathan kisses me, soft and certain. And sometimes the bravest thing you can do is show up for yourself. That night, I write in my journal, the leather-bound one Nathan gave me last Christmas. Today, I attended my brother's wedding. My parents apologized incompletely but genuinely. I maintained my boundaries while keeping my heart open. I'm learning that love doesn't require sacrifice of self, that family can be both biology and choice, that some of the best relationships are the ones we build intentionally, brick by brick, with people who see us and choose to stay. 3 years ago, I sat alone on my birthday feeling invisible and worthless. A stranger taught me that I was neither. Today, I'm building an empire and teaching others to do the same. The birthday candles that once burned in solitude now light a path forward. Not back to what was, but toward what can be. I'm 30 soon, and for the first time in my life, I'm actually looking forward to my birthday. I close the journal and look out at the city lights, at the endless possibilities stretching before me. Somewhere out there, someone is sitting alone at a restaurant table waiting for people who won't come. Someone is questioning their worth because their family can't see it. Someone is wondering if it's selfish to choose themselves, and tomorrow when my Business Insider interview goes live, maybe they'll read it. Maybe they'll see themselves in my story. Maybe they'll realize that the loneliest moments can become the turning points if we are brave enough to stop waiting and start building. The future isn't in making my family understand me. It's in understanding myself, choosing people who choose me back and helping others do the same. Nathan finds me at the window ready for bed. Almost, I say, pulling him close. I'm just thinking about everything that's changed, and I'm grateful for all of it. Even the painful parts, especially the painful parts, because they taught you. Because they taught me that I was worth fighting for. I finish, even if I had to be the one fighting. We stand together in the quiet of my penthouse. Two people who found each other in loneliness and built something beautiful from broken pieces. Tomorrow, I'll wake up and run a $50 million company. I'll mentor young entrepreneurs through my foundation. I'll maintain careful boundaries with my family while keeping my heart open to healing. I'll plan my 30th birthday party with people who actually want to be there. But tonight I'm just Callista, a woman who learned that sometimes the greatest gift is permission to choose yourself. That family is both a place you're born into and a table you set yourself. That love without respect is just another word for obligation. And that sometimes the stranger who helps you blow out your candles becomes the person who teaches you how to light your own way forward. 3 years ago, no one came to my birthday. Tonight, I'm surrounded by people who chose to stay, and that makes all the difference.